Hello, learners. I'm Deepthi, and let's continue our chapter Life Processes. So, in our last video, we have studied about the nutrition in plants. Let's now continue our chapter with nutrition in animals. As we all know, that animals are heterotrophs. They cannot make their own food and they depend on the ready made food. And this ready made food comes either from the plants or from other animals. So, animals obtain their food from plants or other animals which they eat. Some animals obtain their food by eating the flesh of other animals. For example, fish, birds, snakes, insects all obtain their food from other animals. There are some non green plants also which cannot make their own food by photosynthesis. I repeat, non green plants. So, they obtain their food from other plants and animals. Even the plants can eat insects. For example, insectivorous plant, pitcher plants, Venus flytrap, sundew. These are all the insectivorous plants. They eat insects and digest them. Now, depending upon the food they eat, animals are classified as herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivorous animals are those animals they feed only on plants and their various parts like cow, buffalo, goat, deer, rabbit, horse, etc. Second is carnivorous animals. They feed on the flesh of other animals. Example lion, tiger, leopard, etc. And omnivorous animals, they feed on both animals as well as on plants like crow, men, pig, cockroaches, earthworms, etc. All the living things on earth actually depend on the sun for their food, as plants use the energy of sun and prepare their food, and the plant utilize this food for maintaining their life. And these plants are also eaten up by herbivores and carnivores as food, and the carnivores eat herbivores as food. So, in this way, it is the energy of the sun which provides food for plants and animals. Now, next topic is mode of nutrition in animals. The mode of nutrition in herbivorous, carnivorous, or omnivorous animals is known as holozoic nutrition. Some animals are parasites, saprophagous, or scavengers. So, let us study what are parasitic animals. Those animals obtain feed and shelter from the host. They may be endoparasites and ectoparasites. So, parasitic animals are those which obtain food and shelter from the host, and they are divided into two types, endoparasites and ectoparasites. Endoparasites, endo means inside. So they live inside the host body and derive nutrients from host body fluid, blood and tissue. For example, malaria. Malaria parasite live in RBCs. Flatworm and roundworm lives in intestine and liver. On the other hand, ectoparasites, ecto means outside, such as ticks, mites, and bedbugs. They cling on the body surface of their host and suck their blood. The next type is saprophagous animals. They feed on dead and decaying organic matters like earthworm. And scavengers, they feed on the body of dead and decayed animals like crow, vulture, and jackal. So there is a difference between saprophagous and scavengers. Saprophagous are feed on dead and decaying organic matters, and scavengers are feed on the dead and decayed animals. And let's now continue with the process of holozoic nutrition, or different steps in the process of nutrition in animals. Animals ingest complex organic food. Their food contains complex nutrients. The body can use these nutrients only when these are digested and broken down into simple soluble compounds. अब एनिमल्स की बॉडी में भी क्या होता है कि दे गेट और दे इंजेस्ट कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गेनिक फूड, पर एनिमल्स की बॉडी इस फूड को तभी यूज में ले पाएगी जब ये कॉम्प्लेक्स फूड ब्रोकन डाउन होगा इनटू सिंपल soluble compounds and these molecules are absorbed by the intestinal wall. So there are main 5 processes concerned with the use of food by animals. The process of holozoic nutrition involves these 5 steps. First is ingestion, second digestion, third is absorption, fourth assimilation, and the last fifth point is egestion. So let's now continue with the ingestion part. Ingestion is the process of taking in the food items from outside into the body through mouth. And in the most simple terms, ingestion means eating of food by the animals. When we put food into our mouth with hands, we are ingesting the food. Different organisms use different method for this process. Ingestion in amoeba occurs with the help of pseudopodia, which are the false feet and which encircle the food organisms. In paramecium, the hair-like ciliary processes sweep food particles towards the mouth of the cell for ingestion. पैरामीशियम में क्या होता है? पैरामीशियम अपने सीलिया की हेल्प से फूड को अपने पास, अपने माउथ के पास ले आता है इंजेक्शन के लिए. And in hydra, the stinging cells on the tentacles kill the actively moving prey. You can see in the picture also in hydra, the green structure, those are the tentacles which kill the prey, and the tentacles then push the food organisms towards the mouth. The mouth of the hydra is known as the hypostome. In other organisms like bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds, they suck the nectar from flowers. Spiders weave a web around their prey. Frogs catches insects by throwing out their long sticky tongue. Snakes like python swallow the whole animal much broader than their mouth. Animals such as cow, buffalo, horse, deer, etc., they bite and chew the food directly in their mouth. Mosquito and leeches suck blood. Carnivorous animals like tigers and lions ambush the prey and feed on their flesh. So in these ways, different organisms use different method for ingestion. Next step is digestion. The food of most animals consists of large or complex insoluble molecules which cannot be absorbed by the animal's body. So before the food can be used by the animal for various functions like getting energy or for growth, it must be broken down into small water soluble molecules which can be easily absorbed by the body. And this process is known as digestion. Digestion is the process of breaking down of complex insoluble organic compound into simple soluble molecules by the action of digestive enzymes. And this process involves both physical and chemical actions. In physical action, chewing inside the buccal cavity that breaks down the solid food into smaller pieces. Churning in the stomach that makes a fine paste of the food and mixes it with the gastric juice. And in chemical action, it involves the action of enzymes on nutrients and breakdown of carbohydrates into simple sugars, that is glucose, fructose, maltose, etc. Fats into fatty acids and glycerols, proteins into amino acids. So in this way, the food can be broken down into simple soluble molecules. So after digestion, the food molecules become small and soluble. So, absorption is the process by which simple molecules of digested food are absorbed through intestine wall and transported to bloodstream. In simple words, the digested food passes through the intestinal wall into bloodstream. And the next step is assimilation. Assimilation is the process of utilization of absorbed nutrients by body cells for energy, growth, and repair. And in assimilation, blood carries the absorbed food to all the parts of the body. The food then enters each and every cell of the body where it is used for producing energy and for growth and cell repair. And in the last step, that is egestion, it is the process of getting rid of undigested solid part of food, and it is also called defecation. So let's now move on to the next topic, nutrition in amoeba. As we all know that amoeba is a minute single-celled organism or unicellular animal. It has no mouth or anus, and the food can be eaten in at any point on the body surface. Amoeba eats tiny plants and animals as food which float in water in which it lives, or it feeds on aquatic microscopic organisms. Amoeba is also called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis means self-feeding. Now let us see the various steps involved in the nutrition of amoeba. So the first step is ingestion. As we have studied that amoeba has no mouth or a fixed place for the ingestion of food. So amoeba ingests food by using its pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are the false foot of amoeba. So amoeba pushes fingers like pseudopodia around the prey, surrounds and engulfs it. The food organism get trapped in a food vacuole which is present inside the body of amoeba. And this food vacuole can be considered as a temporary stomach of amoeba. So, in this way, the next step is digestion. In amoeba, food is digested in the food vacuole by some digestive enzymes. The cytoplasm surrounding the food vacuole secretes some digestive enzymes into the food vacuole, and the food is digested into simple molecules by chemical reaction. Digestion in amoeba takes place inside the food vacuole, due to which the food dissolves or the food becomes soluble. The next step is absorption. The digested food diffuses into the surrounding cytoplasm, and the digested food just spreads out from the food vacuole into the whole of amoeba cell. And after absorption of food, the food vacuole disappears. अब एब्जॉर्प्शन में क्या होता है कि जितना भी डाइजेस्टेड फूड है इट जस्ट स्प्रेड आउट इनटू द साइटोप्लाज्म. साइटोप्लाज्म में क्यों सारा का सारा डाइजेस्टेड फूड स्प्रेड हो जाता है? क्योंकि एब्जॉर्प्शन स्टेज में जो फूड वैक्यूल प्रेजेंट होता है अमीबा के अंदर वो डिसअपियर हो जाता है. एंड द नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज एसिमिलेशन. In assimilation, the part of the food absorbed is used to obtain energy through respiration. The remaining part of the absorbed food is used to make parts of amoeba cells which lead to the growth of amoeba. अब अगर कुछ remaining part बच जाता है absorbed food का तो वो amoeba की growth के लिए use में होता है. And on assimilating food, amoeba grows in size and can reproduce by dividing into two daughter cells. और इसी में डिवाइड भी करता है, रिप्रोड्यूस भी करता है अमीबा, क्योंकि उसका सेल साइज ग्रो करना स्टार्ट कर देता है. एंड विद दिस द लास्ट प्रोसेस is egestion. The food vacuole with undigested food moves to the body surface and ruptures. The undigested food is expelled out of the body at any point because amoeba has no anus. अब egestion में क्या हुआ कि जो अनडाइजेस्टेड फूड है वो अमीबा के किसी भी बॉडी सरफेस से बाहर निकल जाएगा, वहां से उसकी सेल रप्चर हो जाएगी, ब्रेक हो जाएगी, so that the undigested food is expelled out because amoeba has no anus. You can see in the picture also, in egestion the food particles is surrounded by the pseudopodia. In next step, that is the forming of the food vacuole, and in digestion the food engulfed within the food vacuole, or the food is broken down into small water soluble molecules. Next step is absorption, in which the digested food passes through the intestinal wall into bloodstream. The next is assimilation, in which the absorbed food is taken in by the body cell and used for energy, growth and repair. And the last process is egestion, in which the undigested food is expelled out of the body. And with this, the nutrition in amoeba is completed. Thank you so much, learners. Hope you like the video, and if you like it, please like, share and subscribe. Have a good day, all of you.